Hello there, and welcome back to Sleepy Science Stories. I'm glad you're here, resting, listening, maybe already lying down beneath a quiet ceiling or a dim sky. The world outside has grown silent for the night, and within that stillness, space itself feels closer. Tonight, we drift beyond the borders of our universe, toward a question that has haunted scientists and dreamers alike. What if this isn't the only universe that exists? What if there are others, infinite others, expanding, collapsing, or shimmering just beyond our reach? Some theories call them bubble universes, pockets of reality formed by cosmic inflation. Others whisper about the many worlds, where every decision, every quantum event, spawns a new timeline. Somewhere, another version of you might be falling asleep right now, under a slightly different sky. So breathe deeply, let your body soften, and let your imagination open, as we explore 101 sleepy facts about the multiverse, where every possibility, every dream, and every version of you quietly exists somewhere in the endless night. The beginning that wasn't an explosion. The Big Bang is often pictured as an enormous explosion, a burst of fire in the void. But that image, while poetic, isn't quite true. There was no center, no blast point, no place outside from which it erupted. The Big Bang was not an explosion in space. It was the expansion of space itself. Every point stretched away from every other point. Galaxies aren't flying through emptiness. The emptiness itself is growing, pulling everything with it like dots on a balloon as it inflates. When we look deep into the sky, we aren't looking at a fire long gone. We're watching the slow unfolding of the very fabric of reality. Faster than light, the first breath of inflation. In the tiniest fraction of a second after the Big Bang, far sooner than any atom or light particle existed, something astonishing happened. The universe inflated. Not just grew, but ballooned exponentially, faster than light itself could travel. This didn't break physics, because light's speed limits motion through space, not the stretching of space itself. During this unimaginably brief instant, a region smaller than an atom swelled to larger than our observable universe. This moment, called cosmic inflation, explains why the cosmos today looks smooth and uniform. Every part of it was once connected, expanded, and cooled together before drifting apart. Imagine a single breath filling an endless sky. That was the first heartbeat of creation, the gentle pulse that shaped everything we now see. The harmony of the cosmos. When astronomers map the universe, they find something curious. It looks almost the same in every direction. Galaxies are spread evenly. The cosmic microwave background, the faint afterglow of the Big Bang, has nearly identical temperature everywhere, differing by less than 1 part in 100,000. How could the universe become so uniform when distant regions could never have exchanged light or heat? Inflation provides the answer. Before expansion tore them apart, all regions were once close enough to share the same conditions. The universe began as a single, balanced field, calm, uniform, at once, then vanished cleanly. In the mathematics of the early universe, inflation behaves like a field, an invisible sea of energy spread through space. In some regions, this field might have suggests that while our cosmic patch cooled and formed stars, other patches kept stretching beyond reach, birthing new universes of their own. Inflation, once begun, may never completely end. Somewhere, even now, reality might still be growing, a boundless bloom of space. Endless regions, endless beginnings. If inflation is eternal, creation never truly stops. Each time inflation slows in one spot, a bubble universe forms, expanding at its own pace, with its own destiny. Within each bubble, time begins anew. To beings inside, that moment feels like the Big Bang, a unique beginning. But from the outside, Countless bubbles blossom at once, like raindrops forming in a cloud. Our universe may simply be one of them. It has no edge, no wall, only boundaries defined by what light can reach us. Beyond that horizon, other universes could be swelling silently, each unaware of the others, each writing its own version of physics and time. The foam of creation. Picture the multiverse as cosmic foam, a vast ocean of bubbles expanding in every direction. Each bubble is a universe, sealed from the rest by its own space and time. The gaps between them are not empty, but still inflating regions, forever stretching, forever generating new worlds. To an external observer, if such an observer could exist, this multiverse would appear alive, flickering with newborn realities. But from within, we see only our bubble, floating in darkness. The foam never ends. As one bubble stabilizes, another forms. The multiverse might be less a collection of worlds and more a living process, the universe dreaming itself into countless shapes. The mathematics of eternity. The beauty of the multiverse isn't fantasy. It arises from equations. Physicists studying quantum fields discovered that during inflation, small random fluctuations in energy would naturally occur. Some regions would decay faster, ending inflation early. Others would persist longer. It's mathematics that doesn't stop. Even if most of the cosmos cools and forms galaxies, some fraction continues to inflate endlessly. The equations describe a universe that can't help but create. A universe within a universe. Inside each bubble, the laws of physics may differ. The strength of gravity, the charge of an electron, the mass of particles, all could vary depending on how inflation ended there. Each bubble's fate is sealed by its initial conditions. Some universes might be too unstable for atoms. Others might form stars made of exotic matter. Perhaps some glow in ultraviolet light, invisible to us. Others might exist only for a moment, a flash of geometry before fading back into the field. The multiverse isn't repetition, it's variation, infinite and subtle. Imagine an infinite terrain of valleys and hills, each valley representing a possible set of physical laws. As the inflation field rolls down these valleys, it freezes into different configurations, each one a separate universe. There's no single lawbook of reality. There are many, scattered across this vast energy landscape. Somewhere, gravity is weaker. Somewhere, light travels slower. Somewhere, matter never forms. The multiverse may be an infinite experiment, and we are one successful outcome among uncountable trials. The fractal nature of reality. Zoom in, and the structure of the largest clusters of galaxies. Creation mirrors itself. The universe may not just be expanding, it may be replicating its own geometry endlessly. A self-similar dance of order emerging from. We're also looking back in time. The farthest galaxies we can see are not distant merely in space. They're distant in age. Light from them has traveled billions of years to reach us. Beyond that, the light hasn't had time to arrive yet. This invisible border is our cosmic horizon. It's not an edge, just a limit of perception. Beyond that horizon, inflation continues, and perhaps new ends. Because inflation stretches space faster than light can cross it, the universe has no true boundary. Even if we traveled forever, we would never find a wall or an edge. We'd only see more of the. Every region could host its own story. We inhabit one chapter, one calm breath in an eternal symphony. The universes that failed to be. Not every universe survives. Some bubbles may form but collapse. Almost instantly. Their internal energy could turn inward, forming miniature black holes instead of galaxies. Others might expand so rapidly that matter never coalesces, a barren sea of radiation. Possibilities. Ours is one of the rare few where complexity could take root, where atoms found stability, and consciousness could wonder why. The universes that never sleep. Some universes may never cool down. Their inflation might end only partially, leaving behind an eternal storm of energy. Within them, no matter forms, no time flows as we know it. They're like restless dreams, unstable, flickering, perhaps beautiful in a way we can't imagine. The multiverse is a gallery of every conceivable state of being, frozen, blazing, collapsing, or endlessly awakening. And in this cosmic diversity lies a quiet truth, that existence itself seems to prefer variety, not uniformity. Mathematics that sounds like poetry. To many scientists, the equations of inflation read like verses. They describe a field that hums, fluctuates, and decays, birthing bubbles of new space wherever it does. The mathematics predicts eternity, yet says little of purpose. And yet, in that cold precision, there is a strange kind of beauty. The universe doesn't need intent to create wonder. Its laws, written in symmetry and probability, naturally give rise to infinity. The multiverse may not be philosophy's dream, but physics' inevitable conclusion. The quantum seeds of difference. Even in the earliest instant, the universe was not perfectly smooth. Quantum fluctuations, tiny, random ripples in energy, disturbed the uniform field. These ripples were amplified by inflation, stretched from the subatomic to the cosmic scale. They became the seeds of galaxies, the variations that led to structure. Without them, everything would have remained perfectly even and perfectly lifeless. From microscopic uncertainty arose all cosmic diversity. Every star, every planet, every thought is a direct descendant of quantum chance. From quantum foam to cosmic web. If we could rewind time far enough, everything, galaxies, stars, you, would blur back into a quantum haze. Space itself would shimmer with uncertainty. In that early chaos, fluctuations constantly appeared and vanished, like bubbles in boiling water. Inflation froze those bubbles into the fabric of space, stretching them into the vast web of galaxies we see today. What was once microscopic became macroscopic. The fingerprints of quantum mechanics are written across the sky. It may still exist in the vacuum of space, subtle but powerful, driving the universe's current acceleration. We call this phenomenon dark energy. If that's true, then inflation isn't just our origin story, it's an ongoing one. Creation never stopped, it only slowed. The universe still expands faster every day, echoing the rhythm of its own birth. One beginning among infinite. What we call the Big Bang may have been only one of countless beginnings. In an infinite cosmos, beginnings are everywhere, always happening. Each Big Bang is a local event, a new bubble igniting within the multiverse. To us, it's the birth of everything. To the greater whole, it's one blossom in an endless field. Our history may be vast, but it's not unique. Somewhere else, another universe might just being, but a process, inflation, quantum chance, the mathematics of existence. Creation is the act of blooming, destruction, the making of room for more. In this view, the multiverse is not chaos. Thought in the mind of infinity, the foam of creation. Imagine space as an endless ocean of foam, not water, but pure existence. Each bubble in this foam is a universe of its own, sealed and self-contained. Inside each, galaxies form, light flows, life awakens. Outside, there is no space in the way we understand it. Only the inflation field, stretching and birthing new bubbles. Endlessly. This foam isn't made of matter, but of possibility, shimmering, eternal. Our universe is one bubble among uncountable others, expanding silently in the vastness of something we can never reach. And if you listen closely, in thought, in imagination, you might almost hear it. The soft, steady hiss of infinity creating itself again and again. Parallel worlds, side by side. No two bubbles ever truly touch, yet they grow side by side, like stars forming in the same nebula. Each expands into its own infinite domain, its boundary defined by the speed of light. If one universe could somehow peer outside, it would see nothing, not darkness, but pure absence, because outside holds no meaning within physics. Still, in the imagination, you can picture them drifting together through a timeless sea, endless spheres, transparent and alive, each holding its own version of space, time, and law. Perhaps they glow faintly against the eternal backdrop, not with light, but with existence itself, soft bubbles rising in the deep breath of creation. Bigger than galaxies, smaller than dreams. Some universes might be vast beyond comprehension, larger than all the galaxies combined. Others could be tiny, flickering into being and collapsing before light even has a chance to travel. Size, in the multiverse, is relative. Time, flexible. Space, self-defined. Our world, but our understanding of size itself. Infinity doesn't just stretch outward, it stretches inward too, into the smallest corners of existence. When universes collide, if two bubble universes were ever to collide, the result would be cataclysmic, but also beautiful. Where they touch, the fabric of reality could tear, releasing vast energy, leaving a scar in the cosmic. It would mean that our cosmos has neighbors, that somewhere beyond the stars, another universe once grazed our own. Like ripples overlapping in a pond, their meeting would be brief, but its echo eternal. The search for scars. For decades, scientists have combed through data from satellites like WMAP and Planck, studying the faint microwave glow that fills the sky, the afterlight. But the idea refuses to fade. Every small irregularity still sparks debate. Could it be the shadow of another universe, brushing past ours in the deep past? Even without proof, the search itself reminds us that we're looking at a living, possibly connected multiverse, not an island, but an archipelago of infinity. A gentle collision, long ago. If universes ever collided, it wouldn't be violent in the way we imagine explosions. It would be slow, silent, and vast, an entire sky bending, space itself rippling like a wave. Inside, galaxies might drift slightly off course, their light subtly warped. Billions of years later, beings like us could detect it only as a faint pattern, a cosmic bruise, barely visible. Perhaps it has already happened. Perhaps the faint asymmetry in the microwave background is the ghost of that meeting. A quiet handshake between realities, billions of years before the first star shone. Older, colder, stranger worlds. Not all spark life. Still others might be weirder, obeying entirely different rules. Maybe in one, gravity repels instead of attracts. Maybe in another, time moves in loops rather than lines. Each bubble is a separate experiment in physics, and the multiverse, collectively, is the laboratory. We happen to live in a universe that allows warmth, order, and awareness, a small miracle amid infinite strangeness, dimensions beyond our own. Some bubbles might not just differ in temperature or age, but in dimensional depth. Our universe has 3 spatial dimensions and 1 of time. But what if another bubble had more? 5, 10, even 11 dimensions, as string theory suggests. To its inhabitants, that would be normal. To us, it would be incomprehensible, shapes and geometries beyond vision. Perhaps higher dimensional beings drift within those universes, unable to perceive ours as anything more than a faint 2D shadow. In that sense, every reality is both blind and infinite. Could differ in other universes. If so, time itself would flow differently, and matter would take new forms. A world where light moves slower might age faster. A world where it moves faster might Each universe, then, is a fine-tuned melody in an infinite symphony. To its inhabitants, each feels complete. No matter how strange or unstable a universe may be, to those who live within it, it feels normal. There is no sense of being inside a bubble, no hint of others beyond. Every observer experiences their own universe as the universe, the totality of existence. That's part of the collection of complete perspectives, each one enclosed in its own horizon of understanding. Just like us, we are no different. When we look at the stars, we believe we're seeing everything. To us, this world is home, complete, personal, sacred. Even if infinity lies beyond, we still live within the miracle of this one sky. Each bubble's destiny, each bubble universe has its own story, its own fate. Some may expand forever, growing colder and emptier with each passing eon. Others may collapse back into themselves, ending in a reverse Big Crunch. Some may oscillate, expanding. They form a library of realities, a cosmic archive of every possible history that can exist. The universes that die in silence. For every universe that thrives, countless others die before they can bloom. Their physics may be unstable, their space collapsing into singularities. There are no stars, no galaxies, no witnesses, only silent geometry folding back into the void. We may never know how. Many of these stillborn realities exist, but their presence gives context to our own. The fact that we live in one that survived long enough for consciousness to arise is staggering. We exist on a razor's edge between creation and oblivion, balanced perfectly in a sea of silent failure. Eternal reproduction. Inflation is not a one-time event. It's self-replicating, the ultimate cosmic feedback loop. As one region cools, another heats up and expands. There is no central switch, no beginning or end. The multiverse may be eternal in both directions, always birthing, always expanding, never resting. Like cells dividing endlessly, universes multiply, carrying fragments of their predecessor's energy. Creation becomes a chain reaction of infinity, each universe, consciously or not, apparent to countless more. Cosmic reproduction on an infinite scale. In biology, life reproduces itself to continue existing. In cosmology, it seems the universe might do the same. The inflation field doesn't just stretch space. It creates the conditions for new worlds to emerge. Each bubble is like a cosmic offspring, inheriting laws, evolving uniquely, sometimes even influencing the genetic code of the multiverse, the underlying constants of reality. Just as DNA encodes life's diversity, the inflation field encodes cosmic diversity. The multiverse might be nature's way of ensuring that existence never ends, a grand mechanism for eternal renewal, a fractal of expansion. Zoom out far enough, beyond galaxies, beyond bubbles, and the entire multiverse may form a fractal pattern, self-similar, recursive, infinite. The structure of one region reflects the structure of all, the same patterns of expansion, birth. Every possible combination of atoms, every possible world line, every possible version of you, all must occur somewhere, sometime. Somewhere in this cosmic sea, there's a world identical to ours in every detail except one atom in a faraway star, and another where Earth never formed, and another where you never found this video. Infinity is not just vast, it's inevitable repetition, expressed with endless creativity. Another you, somewhere. If everything possible exists, then so do you, in infinite variations. Somewhere, there's another you, sitting under another sky, reading these same words. Maybe they're written in another language, another script, or another form of thought. But the meaning, curiosity, wonder, the desire to understand, is the same. Across the multiverse, consciousness may be the one constant. Every universe gives rise to beings that look out and ask the same question. What else is there? The lives that diverged. Somewhere. Perhaps lonelier, perhaps identical in all but the smallest details. In the many worlds of possibility, every branch is real. Every decision leads to a new narrative. You are one story among. Every thought is a unique expression of possibility. There are no true copies, only echoes. Every difference, no matter how small, ripples across eternity. And in that endless variation lies a kind of peace. Because even if this universe fades, others will rise. Even if this life ends, the story continues, somewhere, somehow. Infinity never truly ends, it only transforms. And in that, electrons, photons, atoms, don't move like tiny billiard balls, but as waves of probability. They don't exist in one place, but in many potential places at once, spread like ripples across a pond. We call this the quantum world, a realm where certainty dissolves and only likelihood remains. A particle may be here, or there, or both, until something observes it. To us, it feels like the universe hesitates, as though reality itself waits for a decision to be made. But the truth may be deeper. Perhaps the universe never truly decides at all. When observation becomes creation. In quantum experiments, simply observing a system changes its outcome. A photon passing through two slits behaves like a wave until we watch it. Once observed, it behaves like a particle, divides them, separating outcomes into distinct, invisible realities. Each observer, each measurement, would then become a branching point where the universe silently splits and multiplies. The choice that never happens. Physicist Hugh Everett III, in 1957, proposed a radical idea. The universe doesn't collapse when observed, it branches. Every possible outcome happens, each in its own world. When a photon chooses one slit, another photon, in another universe, chooses the other. When you flip a coin, both heads and tails occur, each in its own branch. Nothing is lost, no probability disappears. Reality, rather than collapsing, expands to include all possibilities. There is no true choice, only unfolding. The many worlds interpretation. This idea, every particle interaction, all outcomes are equally real, existing in parallel, but unable to communicate. From our limited perspective, we experience only one thread. But in truth, we are embedded in a vast quantum forest, each tree a version of reality, each leaf a moment, shimmering in the endless light of possibility. When reality splits, imagine a single moment, you turn. Another diverges slightly, a molecule vibrates differently. A photon reflects rather than passes through. These tiny variations accumulate, creating entirely separate realities. To you, they're invisible, but from the perspective of the multiverse, they're as real as this one. Each quantum event is a branching, the cosmic equivalent of a heartbeat, dividing infinity into new lines of time. The universes we create. Every decision you make, to move, to stay, to speak, or remain silent, creates new branches of reality. In one, you send the message. In another, you don't. Both exist, equally valid, equally complete. You might think that's overwhelming, but it isn't. Each you experiences only one thread, unaware of the others. It's as if consciousness rides a. You said yes. In another, you said no. Each path unfolded, creating its own world of consequences. Maybe one led to love, another to solitude. Maybe one led to laughter, another to regret. Neither is wrong. They're both true in their own branch. From a higher view, the multiverse contains both outcomes, woven together like a tapestry of parallel emotions. Each choice is a note in a grand quantum chord, a harmony of every possible version of you, resonating forever across the silent frequencies of existence. hidden from each other. These parallel worlds don't communicate. They exist side by side in higher dimensional space, but remain forever invisible to one another. You can't meet the other versions of yourself. They're separated not by distance, but by quantum structure, by the way wave functions evolve and never overlap again. It's not that they're far away. It's that they're perpendicular to your reality, existing along axes we cannot perceive. To cross between them would require bending probability itself, a journey no physics yet allows. The constant branching, this splitting doesn't happen once in a while. It happens constantly, everywhere, all the time. Every atom, every interaction, every fluctuation of energy produces a new branch of the cosmic tree. The multiverse grows like a living organism, its roots tangled in the quantum soil of possibility. If you could see it from above, if your mind could hold all versions of reality at once, it would appear as a glowing network of light, a living, breathing fractal of existence, expanding quietly with every passing heartbeat. The tree of reality. The universe, then, is like a tree, each branch representing a different timeline, each twig a separate future, each leaf a distinct moment. From the trunk of the Big Bang, countless branches grow outward into infinity. No branch is more real than another. Each supports its own version of time, space, and self. The tree grows endlessly, its roots unseen, its canopy reaching beyond imagination. And we, tiny consciousnesses drifting on one of its fears, but shaped by slightly different events. In some worlds, you made different choices. In others, life made them for you. Each version believes it's the only one, living a unique and singular life. Yet together, you form a constellation of selves, each a star in the same spiritual sky. When you dream, perhaps you touch their memories. When you feel déjà vu, perhaps you echo their emotions. You are not alone in infinity. You are infinity, experiencing itself from one perspective. No world more real. It's tempting to think one version must be the real one. But in many worlds, physics, all are real. There is no master universe, no primary timeline. Reality is the total sum of all branches, an infinite superposition of every outcome, woven together into a single, mathematical wave function. When we experience collapse, we're merely following one thread of that greater pattern. There is no hierarchy of truth, only the quiet equality of existence. That's the many worlds interpretation. The universal wave function plays every possible song, every version of reality, every quantum chord. Our consciousness tunes into one melody. Universe itself. Time as an unfolding. In this quantum picture, time doesn't flow like a river. It unfolds like a sheet of paper being slowly revealed. All moments already exist. We simply experience them one by one. Each branching event adds new pages, expanding the book of reality forever outward. From the outside, there's no before or after, only the timeless geometry of possibilities. Each eternally present, eternally real. Perhaps that's why déjà vu feels hauntingly familiar. Our awareness brushing against nearby pages in the cosmic book. The overlapping universes. The patterns of the same quantum field. Right now, infinite worlds coexist in the same space. The difference lies in the arrangement of probability. We move through one configuration, while countless others hum quietly beside person. You are a network of selves, each living a different path through the same infinite structure. Every you thinks, feels, and dreams independently, yet all arise from the same origin, the same quantum source of awareness. In that sense, your consciousness isn't confined to one branch. It's like light refracted through a crystal. Many rays, one source. When you reflect on you met someone else. You took another job, lived in another city. Maybe you never discovered the same passions. Or perhaps you found new ones entirely. Each life has its own rhythm, its own path toward joy, loss, or peace. And though you'll never meet those other selves, you share a quiet kinship, like parallel rivers flowing toward the same ocean, each carrying a reflection of the same sky. The world's without you. And then there are universes where you never existed, where the chain of events that led to your birth never aligned or diverged long before it could occur inside you. Atoms vibrate, cells divide, neurons fire, each with infinite potential outcomes. Your body is a generator of universes, spawning possibilities with every breath. You are not separate from the multiverse. You are its microcosm. Every heartbeat divides existence just a little more, rippling outward into infinite timelines. To live, then, is to participate in creation itself, your smallest motions sculpting the fabric of forever. One path, calm and complete. And yet, from your point of view, the path feels singular, continuous, calm, complete. You don't feel the branching, the splitting, the endless multiplication. Your consciousness moves gracefully through one version of reality, unaware of the infinite garden growing around it. That is the wonder of perception, to experience the infinite as one, to live a single life while being part of eternity. So, as you breathe softly now, remember, you are not lost in the multiverse. One pattern becomes an electron, another becomes a photon, another perhaps a graviton. This elegant idea is known as string theory, and it suggests that all matter, all light, and even gravity are. Our entire visible universe could be just the surface of something deeper, a single note resonating within a hidden symphony of space. The floating sheet of existence. Physicists call our universe a brain, short for membrane. Imagine an immense, flexible sheet floating in a higher dimensional sea. Everything we know, galaxies, stars, life, and time itself, is confined to this sheet. Light. Through higher space, just as a flag moves in wind we cannot feel. To us, it feels solid and self-contained, but to a being living in higher dimensions, it might appear paper-thin, a shimmering surface suspended in the vastness of the unseen. Other brains nearby. If one brain can exist, why not many? String theory allows for countless parallel brains floating within the same higher dimensional bulk, enormous, invisible universes stacked or drifting near one another. They could be just a fraction of a millimeter away, separated not by distance, but by dimensional. These vast, how our own Big Bang began. A collision between two higher dimensional membranes, crashing together and rebounding apart. What we perceive as the origin of time may have been just one spark in a cycle of impacts, a universe born from the meeting of greater worlds. In this picture, the cosmos breathes not once, but endlessly, each expansion the echo of another cosmic embrace and separation of heat and silence. Every time brains meet, they ignite new fire, new matter, new physics. Our cosmos may be one heartbeat in a perpetual cycle, expanding outward while another. The bulk beyond. All these brains drift within a larger arena called the bulk, the higher dimensional space that contains them. It isn't empty. It's rich with energy, curvature, and fields we cannot sense. The bulk is to brains what the ocean is to waves, both cradle and boundary. We can't step into it because we are part of the brain itself, like ink drawn inside the paper. But gravity, the one force not tightly bound, may wander through the bulk, linking distant universes faintly together. It's a strange comfort. Even across impossible dimensions, the pull of connection still exists. The whisper of gravity. Gravity has always been puzzlingly weak. A tiny magnet can lift a paperclip against the pull of an entire planet. Why should the most fundamental force be so faint? String theory offers a beautiful answer. Gravity might leak into extra dimensions. While electromagnetism and nuclear forces remain trapped on our brain, gravity seeps outward through the bulk, spreading thin across multiple universes. To us, it feels weak, but only because it is shared. We sense just the echo of its true strength, diluted across infinity. The softness of spacetime. This idea reshapes how we think about space itself. If gravity can move between dimensions, then the fabric of spacetime is porous, not sealed. Tiny ripples might drift from other universes into ours, faint as the touch of wind across water. They could influence the motion of galaxies, or the delicate balance of cosmic expansion. Perhaps the dark energy accelerating our universe is nothing more than the distant pressure of neighboring brains, whispering through the bulk. Space is softer than we think, alive with invisible tides. The cosmic book. Some physicists describe this structure as a 3 dimensions. You might see the book itself, layers upon layers of universes, stacked so closely that from above they resemble shimmering sheets of light. We can read only the page we're on. But the others exist, filled with words we'll never see and stars we'll never know. Reading our page. To us, this page feels endless, an infinite spread of galaxies stretching in all directions. But from a higher viewpoint, it's thin, almost delicate, its thickness smaller than an atom. We move across it in time, reading one sentence after another, never realizing the vast library around us. What we call the cosmos might be only one paragraph in the eternal text of existence. The story continues, page after page, each with its own version of physics, geometry, and fate. The silent pages beside us. Just beyond our page lie others, silent, unseen, impossibly close. They might hum with their own kind of matter, their own light, their own laws. Yet there's no bridge between us. Even if a universe lies a millimeter away in higher space, it's as unreachable as a dream once you wake. The silence between pages isn't emptiness. It's the gap that keeps stories distinct. Somewhere, another civilization may wonder if they too are alone, unaware that their universe rests beside ours, separated by nothing but the thinness of dimension. The power of added dimensions. Each new dimension changes what can exist. Add one more, and particles can move in directions we can't imagine. Add two, and entirely new forces might appear. Mathematically, dimensions act like keys on a piano. Each one allows new harmonies of physics to play. Perhaps there are dimensions where light folds differently, where gravity loops, where time itself bends into curves instead of lines. We live within 4 keys of a grand cosmic instrument, hearing only part of the music. The rest plays on, inaudible but real. Time is a direction. What if time is not a river, but simply one direction among many? In higher dimensional models, time could twist, fork, or even loop back on itself. There might be other temporal axes we cannot perceive, where causes and effects form shapes instead of sequences. To beings existing across those extra dimensions, our linear experience of past, present, and future might seem flat, a shadow of a deeper geometry of moments. Perhaps eternity is not endless duration, but full dimensionality, all moments existing together, forming a timeless sculpture of being. Multiple times. Some theories go further, suggesting universes with more than one time dimension. In such realms, events could unfold in several temporal directions at once. Change itself might have many kinds of flow. One forward, one sideways, one circular. Causality, as we know it, would dissolve. Existence could weave patterns instead of lines. To us, this sounds impossible. But to the mathematics of higher dimensions, it's merely another possibility. Time may not be one ticking clock, but a whole family of rhythms, each keeping tempo in its own universe. Worlds of pure geometry. Some universes might not contain matter at all. Instead, They could exist as pure geometry, shapes and fields of energy, no particles, no light. They might evolve according to mathematical symmetries alone, a kind of abstract reality where form replaces substance. Such universes would be invisible to us but could interact subtly through gravity or quantum fields. Perhaps, in those silent geometrical realms, could all hint at the hidden. It's like detecting a breeze from an invisible world. We can't see the wind, but we see the leaves move. Physics, at its heart, is the art of noticing whispers. Each unexplained anomaly could be a message from beyond our page of reality. Ripples through our cosmos. Extra dimensions might ripple through our universe like hidden tides. These ripples could subtly affect how galaxies rotate, how light bends near massive objects, or how gravity behaves at cosmic distances. They might even influence dark matter or dark energy, phenomena we sense but cannot yet define. Just as ocean tides reveal the pull of the moon, these invisible tides may reveal the pull of unseen dimensions. Every fluctuation, every shimmer in space-time could be the echo of realities brushing softly against our own, searching at the edge of energy. In Geneva, beneath the ground, the Large Hadron Collider has hurled particles together at near-light speeds, searching for traces of these hidden dimensions. Physicists hope to see miniature black holes or missing energy, signatures of particles slipping into the bulk. So far, none have appeared. But in every collision, there's a possibility. Perhaps the evidence lies just beyond our current reach, a fraction of energy higher than we can achieve. Each experiment is a knock on the door of higher reality. And though no one has answered yet, the knocking continues. Quiet possibilities. Science thrives on silence. When data shows nothing, it doesn't mean emptiness, it means patience. The lack of proof for extra dimensions is not their absence, but a reminder of how vast mystery still is. Perhaps the signs are there, hidden in noise, waiting for new instruments or ideas. In the meantime, the theories remain beautiful, precise, mathematically harmonious. Even unproven, they inspire us to imagine a universe more layered, more delicate, more infinite than we ever dreamed. The silence between dimensions. The silence of unconfirmed discovery doesn't mean those dimensions aren't real. It may mean they are too gentle to disturb us, too subtle for crude. Woven into every particle, every heartbeat, every dream. And perhaps, in the stillness of sleep, when thought loosens from matter, some part of us drifts closer to those unseen realms, floating, like a brain, through the bulk of infinity, the echo of the beginning. All across the sky, a faint, ancient glow surrounds us, the cosmic microwave background. It's the afterlight of the Big Bang. Frozen map of the early universe. Temperature variations as subtle as 1 part in 100,000. To cosmologists, it's like reading fossilized starlight, the universe's baby picture. But perhaps it's more than that. Some believe hidden within this light are traces of other universes, faint scars, rings, or distortions left behind from collisions long before our galaxies were born. If so, then the first evidence of the multiverse may already be shining quietly above us every night. The anomalies in the map. When scientists plotted the microwave background, plasma before the universe cooled, were these just statistical coincidences or the aftermath of contact, the gentle brush of another universe against ours in the deep past? Cosmologists debate. After a drop of water falls, now imagine that ripple frozen in time, stretched across the universe. Some researchers propose that such circles could be the scars of universe collisions, or too uncertain. The circles might be artifacts of noise, chance, or unknown physics within our own cosmos. Still, the idea lingers that somewhere in the oldest light, we might glimpse the shadow of an interpretation. For every scientist who sees a signature of the multiverse, Another sees only statistical coincidence. The line between discovery and imagination remains blurred. And yet, that uncertainty is its own kind of beauty. It means the universe still keeps secrets, still holds questions big enough to keep us awake, and small enough to fit into the human heart. Warp spacetime so intensely that not even light can escape. Inside, physics breaks down. But some theories suggest that a black hole singularity, that infinitesimal, infinitely dense point, could be a doorway, not a hole in space, but a hole through it. Perhaps, instead of an end, each black hole is a bridge to a new beginning, a passage through which one universe spills into another. The portals of creation. If that's true, then every black hole could be a portal, a seed for a new expanding cosmos. When matter collapses under gravity's grip, it doesn't vanish, it transitions. Beyond the event horizon, it may explode outward into a new universe, carrying fragments of information, the quantum DNA of its parent cosmos. From our side, we see only destruction. From the other, it might look like a Big Bang. Every collapse here could be a birth somewhere else. The multiverse, then, is not static. It's reproductive, an eternal cycle of fall and bloom. The singular flame. Inside every black hole lies the singularity, a place where our known laws of physics cease to function. Space and time twist beyond recognition. Yet rather than a point of death, it might be a seed of creation. Some cosmologists propose that the intense energy and density at the singularity could ignite a new phase of expansion, a miniature Big Bang. Another star. The children of universes. If this idea holds, then our own universe might be a child, born from the collapse of another. Somewhere in a parent cosmos, a massive star once died. Through the birth process, like genetic mutation, this view makes reality genealogical. Universes giving rise to others, evolving through time. Creation becomes a family tree that stretches into, expanding beyond the veil of the event horizon. Energy and matter flow inward, compressed beyond our reach, and perhaps re-emerge elsewhere as a new cosmos. Reality, then, is self-sustaining, a web of worlds birthing worlds, without beginning or end. The death of one star here could be the dawn of a sky somewhere else. The multiverse, in this view, is not chaos, but continuity, an unbroken lineage of light. The cosmic family tree. Picture existence as a great tree of universes. Each black hole is a seed pod, each Big Bang, a bloom. Branches sprout in every direction, some short-lived, some vast. The trunk is eternity, the roots, the unknown. Through gravity, energy, and quantum fluctuation, the cosmos reproduces itself, carrying information forward in new forms. Every branches. The fine-tuned mystery. Our universe appears fine-tuned for life. The fundamental constants, the strength of gravity, the charge of the electron, the rate of cosmic expansion, seem perfectly balanced. Change any of them slightly, and stars wouldn't form, atoms wouldn't bind, life couldn't arise. Why should the numbers of physics align so precisely with our existence? To some, it feels like design. To others, coincidence. To the multiverse, it's simply mathematics. If infinite universes exist, some must fall into this narrow window where life is possible. We live in one because we could not live in any other. Chance as a creator. The multiverse theory offers a natural explanation for fine-tuning. In an infinite ensemble of universes. That's the multiverse. Each universe is a ticket, with its own rules, constants, and outcomes. We happen to find ourselves in a winning one, a universe that allows chemistry, warmth, and awareness. It's not that we were destined to win. It's that, in infinity, someone always does. Our existence is both improbable and inevitable, a paradox of chance. We are the proof that probability, given enough room, becomes reality. The anthropic reflection. This reasoning is known as the anthropic principle. It says we observe a universe compatible with life because only such universes can be observed. It's circular but profound. The universe looks fine-tuned not for us, but through us. Our existence filters what we can see. Like fish unaware of water, we take for granted the conditions that make us possible. Perhaps consciousness is not a cosmic accident, but a mirror, reflecting back the only realities where reflection itself can occur. Matter and energy found the perfect balance to create wonder. And so we wake, we look, and we ask. And in that asking, the universe confirms its own existence. Observers of the possible. The anthropic principle humbles and elevates us. It reminds us that the universe is vast beyond imagination, yet intimate enough to produce observers within it. We are both infinitesimal and essential. The mechanism through which reality becomes aware that it exists. Every observation we make collapses possibility into experience, turning the potential multiverse into the lived universe. We are, in a sense, the eyes through which infinity watches itself unfold. The missing proof. And yet, for all these elegant ideas, no experiment has ever proven the multiverse exists. No telescope has glimpsed another universe. No detector has caught gravity leaking between brains. All our theories remain whispers, shadows, mathematical poetry. Science thrives on evidence, and for now, the multiverse remains a hypothesis. Too vast to test, too subtle to confirm, too beautiful to dismiss. It is the edge of knowledge, a mirror where reason meets imagination. The elegant speculation. Among scientists, the multiverse divides minds. Some call it the most elegant solution to cosmic puzzles, a graceful extension of known physics. Others call it a distraction, an escape into the untestable. And both are right, for science must always walk the line between boldness and proof. The multiverse is that line, an idea too grand to ignore, too distant to verify. A thought experiment written across the sky itself. The debate of dreamers. In conference halls and quiet offices, the debate continues. Equations argue on chalkboards. Telescopes scan the heavens for clues. Physicists who once dismissed the idea now cautiously entertain it. Others resist, guarding the boundary between science and speculation. But through it all, one truth remains. The multiverse invites us to dream, to see reality not as a finished story, but an infinite draft still being written. Whether true or not, it teaches us humility and endless curiosity. The quiet between proof and wonder. Between evidence and imagination, the multiverse quietly waits. Perhaps it exists, infinite and real, just beyond our reach. Or perhaps it's an idea, a reflection. Never certainty, inviting us to keep listening, keep wondering, keep exploring. And in that endless search, we find something even greater than proof. The peace of being part of a mystery that never ends. Infinity changes everything. Infinity is not a number. It's not something you can count toward or ever reach. It's a condition, a horizon that keeps moving as you approach it. In mathematics, we mean it could extend without boundary, without repetition, without edge or center. In such a cosmos, distance loses meaning, and the word everything becomes literal. Infinity changes forever, then every possible configuration of matter must occur, somewhere. Every planet, every star, every molecule of air is repeated an uncountable number of times across the endless expanse. There are infinite versions of this very moment, identical in every detail, and infinite others where something tiny is different, a photon's angle, a heartbeat's timing, a single word unspoken. In an infinite universe, nothing happens only once. Every possibility finds its stage. We don't live at the center of the universe. We live in one of infinite repetitions of it, a pattern written again and again across eternity. Infinite Earths. If the cosmos is boundless, then somewhere, far beyond the reach of any telescope, there must be another Earth, identical to ours in every way. Another planet orbiting a yellow sun, with oceans, mountains, clouds, and a species called humanity. On that world, another you might be listening to this story right now, wondering if you exist. Elsewhere too, and beyond that, there are infinite others, an endless mosaic of Earths, all slightly different. Some with small differences in geography or history, others with completely new civilizations. Our world, as vast as it feels, might be one grain in a beach of identical worlds, stretching without end into the dark. Infinite use. If there are infinite Earths, there are also infinite use. Each one made of atoms arranged just like yours, thinking similar thoughts, living similar days. There's a version of you eating breakfast right now, another dreaming, another standing beneath alien stars. Infinity doesn't just repeat patterns of matter, it repeats patterns of consciousness. The very idea that you are unique becomes paradoxical. You are one of endless echoes, each aware of its own existence, each convinced it's the original. And perhaps, in a way, you all are. Each version of you is the center of its own infinite horizon. Slight differences, endless variety. Even if most of those infinite yous are identical, some must differ, slightly or profoundly. In one universe, you chose a different path. In another, a friend never left. In yet another, you were born centuries later. Each possibility, however small, is realized somewhere in the infinite fabric. It's not just repetition, it's variation without limit. The cosmos may be like a mirror fractured into endless reflections, each one shifting by the faintest degree, together forming a kaleidoscope of possibility. Infinity isn't sameness. It's the coexistence of all difference. A single atom's spin. In one universe, everything is the same, except for the spin of a single atom in a distant star. That tiny difference might seem meaningless, but physics tells us even small changes ripple outward through time. A microscopic difference now could lead to a completely new history later. Infinity allows space for both outcomes. And for every other. It's humbling. The universe cares about detail. Every quantum choice, every fluctuation, every subtle shift exists somewhere, carried endlessly through the vastness. Infinity does not waste possibility. It archives them all, entire histories apart. And beyond those tiny changes, there are universes with entirely different histories. Worlds where civilizations. Somewhere, no one ever dreamed of stars. Infinity doesn't prefer one outcome, it allows all. Every history that could unfold, does unfold, and continues forever, each unaware of the others. We live in one strand of that endless historical web, a thread of thought in a fabric too large to comprehend. Every combination exists. Take every element, every atom, every particle in the universe, and arrange them in every possible configuration. Infinity guarantees that somewhere, every combination exists. Every sculpture, every song, every heartbeat, every word you could ever say. The multiverse is a vast library, and each universe is a book written in the language of physics. Some books are nonsense, random strings of chaos. But others tell stories, stories of stars, planets, love, and awareness. Ours is one of those rare, coherent pages, and we, its characters, live inside its sentences, unaware of the countless volumes beside us. The world where dinosaurs still roam. Somewhere, dinosaurs never went extinct. A meteor missed, the earth remained lush and wild, and intelligent reptiles may now walk under twin moons. They might build cities of glass, gaze at constellations of scales and feathers, and wonder if mammals ever evolved elsewhere. Infinity ensures that every fork in evolution is taken, not just in theory, but in reality. Somewhere out there. What seems like fiction here is fact somewhere else. The multiverse doesn't discriminate between science and imagination. It contains both, equally real in their own branch of forever, the world without us. And somewhere, humans never evolved. The earth might still be a quiet garden of wind and stone, where no cities rise, no words are spoken. Oceans still breathe. Mountains still glow at sunset, and the stars still burn. But no one looks up to name them. Infinity includes silence as well as song. For every world alive with thought, there are countless more that remain in stillness, never aware, never longing, never dreaming. And yet, their existence makes ours more precious, a rare spark in a sea of endless night. The worlds with different physics. Infinity also allows for worlds where physics itself is different. Universes where gravity is stronger or where light moves at another speed. Some where atoms are unstable and stars never form. Others where energy flows in strange ways, creating patterns we could never imagine. In some, there might be no time at all, only geometry, frozen and perfect. In others, time may move backward or branch like rivers. To infinity, no law is sacred. Everything that can be written into reality will be somewhere in the endless field of creation. The death of. We speak of chance. In an infinite one, we speak of certainty distributed across infinity. There is no impossible, only rare. Even miracles, things with odds so low they defy reason must happen infinitely often. The universe becomes a stage where every script is performed, every ending played, every beginning begun. Infinity leaves nothing undone. Beyond large, infinity is not just in the never-ending potential to continue. And that absence, paradoxically, contains everything that can be. The mind against infinity. The human mind can imagine vastness, but not infinity. Infinity slips through it like water through fingers. We can only circle it with metaphors, mirrors, oceans, skies without edge. We can approach, but never grasp. And perhaps that's the point. Infinity isn't meant to be contained. It's meant to remind us how small we are, and how wondrous it is that we can still try to understand. The universe might be infinity itself. Maybe the universe doesn't merely contain infinity. Maybe it is infinity manifesting itself as form. Every galaxy, every atom, every dream might be one expression of the same boundless reality unfolding through time. Infinity is not out there. It's within, woven into the mathematics of space, the rhythm of thought, the silence between breaths. To exist at all might be to participate in infinity, to give it shape and sound for a fleeting moment. The infinite doesn't need edges to be complete, only awareness to recognize itself. Infinity trying to understand itself. The multiverse could be infinity exploring its own potential. Each universe a question asked, each galaxy a tentative answer. Reality may not be a static truth, but a process, an ongoing act of self-inquiry. When physicists search for fundamental laws, when artists dream, when we ask why, perhaps it's infinity, through us, trying to see itself from within. Every conscious being, every act of curiosity, is a mirror held up to eternity. We are infinity thinking, wondering, and quietly awakening to its own reflection. The echo of curiosity. We like to imagine curiosity as a human trait. But maybe it's a cosmic instinct. Stars explore fusion, matter explores complexity, and consciousness explores meaning. Every question asked is the universe deepening its understanding of itself. In that sense, you, sitting here, listening, wondering, are part of a grand dialogue that began with the first flicker of light. Your curiosity is not separate from the cosmos. It is the cosmos. momentarily condensed into thought, whispering to itself through the voice of wonder. Thought as microcosm. Each thought you have may be a miniature version of the cosmos. Ideas expand, branch, and connect like galaxies. Memories form networks that mirror the cosmic web, vast filaments of neurons reflecting filaments of light. Your mind is a universe that dreams in patterns. And every dream is a quantum fluctuation of consciousness. When you imagine infinity, you create a tiny model of it inside yourself. Each idea is an echo of the cosmic branching that fills reality. A reminder that creation and contemplation are the same process, just viewed from different scales. Dreams as portals. Dreams may be reflections of other possible worlds, glimpses of alternate realities your mind brushes against during sleep. Perhaps the boundaries between universes soften in rest, and imagination becomes the bridge between them. Each dream is a version of reality that exists somewhere, not symbolic, but literal, realized in another branch of infinity. When you awaken, those worlds fade from memory, but their echoes remain. Tiny imprints of parallel lives. Briefly human. Every breath you take is an act of cosmic participation. Every heartbeat a pulse within eternity. When you look at the stars, you are infinity observing its own reflection, marveling at what it has become. We are the dreamers of the infinite, and the infinite, in turn, is the dreamer within us. So as you rest beneath the quiet sky tonight, remember, you are infinity, dreaming of itself. The question of choice. If every decision creates a new universe, what does that mean for free will? When you choose left instead of right, speak instead of staying silent, does the universe truly branch? Or do all outcomes already exist, with your awareness simply traveling down one of infinite paths? In the multiverse, the notion of choice blurs. Every possibility is, but its navigator, steering gently through a sea of endless outcomes, guided by intention and chance alike. Selection, not creation. Maybe choice isn't creation, but selection. Like tuning a radio. Consciousness may choose one frequency among infinite broadcasts, one timeline among endless potentialities. The act of deciding doesn't build a new world. It focuses your awareness on a single version of it. In that sense, every possible outcome already exists, suspended in quantum potential, and your mind acts as the lens that brings one into clarity. Every yes and no, every moment of hesitation is not the universe changing. It's you shifting focus, aligning perception with one specific stream of events. You are the witness that turns possibility into presence. Consciousness as a tuner. Your consciousness might function like a tuner, vibrating in harmony with one particular version of reality. Each timeline has its own frequency, its own vibration of possibility. Awareness locks onto one, and that becomes your world. When your thoughts shift, when your emotions rise and fall, perhaps you subtly adjust that frequency, moving ever so slightly between nearby worlds. This isn't magic, it's resonance. The multiverse may already contain every version of you, every possible now. Consciousness simply chooses which one to inhabit. Reality takes shape not independently, but through participation. You are both observer and participant, mirror and maker. The universe doesn't simply exist around you, it exists through you. Every breath, every glance, every act of noticing is a quiet act of creation. Dreams and other branches. In dreams, we may glimpse other branches of the multiverse. When consciousness loosens from, feel somehow remembered, the dreaming mind might wander through parallel realities, experiencing echoes of lives you never lived. When you awaken, those threads fade, but the feeling remains, like the afterglow of a journey across unseen worlds. Memory as a thread. Memory may be the thread that connects you through nearby universes. Each time your awareness shifts, memory helps maintain the illusion of continuity. Perhaps it doesn't record one singular reality, but blends impressions from closely aligned timelines. That might explain why memories feel vivid yet unstable. Through infinite versions of the self, keeping identity intact as you glide across the multiverse. Déjà vu and resonance. Déjà vu, that uncanny sense, thinner than we think, that every moment hums with nearby possibilities, vibrating softly, waiting to align. The quantum link. Quantum mechanics ties mind and measurement together in ways that defy the observer. Every experiment is a question asked to reality, and every result is reality's gentle reply. The observer and the observed. Physicists once hoped the universe could be fully described, without the need for an observer. But quantum theory shattered that hope. The observer effect suggests that the act of observation changes what is being observed. The electron's position. Or does the cosmos require witnesses to bring it fully into being? Perhaps consciousness isn't inside the universe. Perhaps the universe is inside consciousness. Is the multiverse self-aware? If consciousness arises from matter, and matter exists in every universe, then somewhere, consciousness must arise in all its possible forms. This means the multiverse may be self-aware at a higher. In the universe, maybe it defines it. The physical world might be a reflection of awareness, not the other way around. Every measurement, every observation, every act of perception collapses potential into reality. Without mind, the cosmos might remain pure wave, a timeless probability field, unrealized and unlit. It's only through consciousness that light becomes color, sound becomes music, and possibility becomes world. The universe, therefore, may be a vast mirror, whose only purpose is to reflect awareness back to itself. Universes with minds. Each universe could contain its own form of awareness. Some, like ours, give rise to biological consciousness. Life that looks up, thinks, and dreams. Others might host forms of perception entirely unlike ours. Fields that feel rather than think. Geometries that sense through vibration instead of sight. There could even be universes that are conscious, not filled with minds, but one vast mind in itself. May exist on a spectrum. Some universes could be silent, lifeless, and unaware. Others might hum with hyper-awareness, where every particle participates in perception. Between those extremes lie all shades of experience, from the dim awareness of atoms to the bright reflection of self-conscious beings. Perhaps existence itself is the process of awakening, each universe a different stage in infinity's long dream of understanding itself. From void to vision, from emptiness to mind, the cosmos evolves toward knowing. The cosmic experiment. The multiverse could be the ultimate experiment. In experience, each universe explores a different combination of laws, constants, and possibilities. But beneath that diversity lies a deeper experiment, the exploration of perception itself. What can reality feel like under different rules? What does awareness become when time flows faster? When gravity pulls stronger? When matter dances differently? Every universe is an answer to the question, what can consciousness be? Together, they form the complete expression of being. Infinite awareness tasting itself in infinite ways. From silence to symphony. The cosmos contains both. Needs silence to breathe. And through this balance, existence becomes art. A composition written by no one, yet performed by all. The eyes of the universe. Maybe that's why we're here. To be the eyes of one branch of reality. Through our perception, the cosmos gains perspective. Stars burn without seeing their own light. But we, made from their ashes, can finally witness it. Circle. Infinite versions of awareness. In infinite universes, there are infinite versions of you. Some awake, some asleep. Some existing in other times or forms. In one, you might be listening to. You are part of a continuum. An infinite being experiencing infinity in fragments. Just as a prism splits light into colors, existence splits consciousness into individuals. Each of us reflects one shade of the same eternal spectrum. When we connect through empathy, art, or thought, we briefly remember that we are one. Infinity doesn't divide, it differentiates. And together, all differences form the unity of the whole, where universes meet. In you, the universes meet. Every possible reality, every quantum branch, crosses at the point of your awareness. You are the intersection where you are not just in the universe. You are the place where it becomes aware of itself. The multiverse breathes through you. And so, the multiverse breathes through you. Each inhale draws in possibility. Each exhale releases choice. Your thoughts ripple through the quantum field. Your emotions shape the frequencies of perception. The cosmos expands outward, and you quietly expand within. There is no separation between mind and matter, between self and universe. Only one vast rhythm. The same pulse of creation moving through everything. You are that rhythm. You are that breath. You are the silence between worlds. Listening, wondering, awake. The law of balance. Physics loves balance. Every equation that describes the universe contains a kind of symmetry, a pairing of opposites that keeps reality in harmony. For every positive charge, a negative one. For every action, an equal and opposite reaction. The very stability of the cosmos depends on these twin forces. Without balance, atoms would fall apart, light would distort, gravity would tear existence into chaos. From the smallest particle to the largest cluster of galaxies, every presence a reflection, a universe of antimatter. One of the strangest reflections predicted by physics is antimatter. For every particle of matter, an electron, a proton, a neutron, there could be entire regions, or even an entire universe, made of antimatter instead. Such a universe would mirror ours perfectly. Antimatter galaxies, antimatter stars, antimatter beings made of reverse charge. To them, we would be the strange ones, creatures made of the wrong kind of stuff. And if the two universes ever touched, they would vanish in light, leaving only balance behind. Time running backward. Some equations of physics are time-symmetric. They work just as well backward as forward. That means the universe could, in principle, exist in reverse. Entropy. Their future might be our past. They would see us as running backward, unmaking decisions, inhaling the air we exhale. For them, time would move naturally, for us, impossibly. And yet both would be equally real, equally valid directions of being. To them, we are reversed. If such a mirror universe exists, its people might gaze toward their own stars and imagine us. A civilization whose time runs in reverse. They would wonder how their choices appear to undo themselves in our reflection. We might never meet, but through the symmetry of physics, we would be bound. Opposite halves of the same whole, each defining the other. In their story, we are the inversion, and in ours, they are the mystery beyond the mirror. Together, we create the complete symmetry of existence, forward and backward, matter and antimatter, cause and effect eternally paired. The mirror twin. Modern equations, especially those in CPT symmetry, charge, parity, time, hint that a same origin. The two together form a perfect equation. Their total charge, spin, and energy balance exactly to zero. They are not separate, but complementary halves of one grand symmetry. When we were born, it was born too. The same Big Bang echoing in both directions through time. Two universes diverging, yet forever connected through invisible harmony. The twin expansion. Imagine the Big Bang not as a single explosion, but as two universes bursting outward in opposite directions. One into positive time, one into negative. Each carries energy opposite in sign. balancing perfectly. From one point of view, time moves forward, from the other, backward. Neither is privileged, neither is wrong. They are two sides of one event, a coin spinning through eternity, its faces never meeting, yet forever entwined. Our entire cosmos may be the forward side of that spin, while somewhere beyond the reach of light, its twin expands in reverse. Tracing our history, by its reflection, antimatter, reverse time, negative energy. Add it all up, and the total may equal zero. That's the beauty of symmetry, nothingness split into opposites, creating everything without. Violating balance. In this way, existence may not be a creation from nothing, but a creation of nothing. A perfectly balanced equation where +1 and -1 coexist forever. There's some always zero. Their dance eternal. Negative time. In our universe, time flows one way, from past to future, guided by entropy. But in its mirror, negative time could balance positive time. For every second that ticks forward here, one may tick backward there. This doesn't mean undoing existence. It means existence itself is symmetric. If we think of time as a dimension, then the two universes simply extend in opposite directions along that axis. We are moving toward the future. They are moving toward their own. To infinity, both directions are equally valid, each giving the other meaning. Negative. Expanding in opposite energy signatures. It's less a battle of opposites than a partnership. Like inhale and exhale, each universe sustains the other through its own motion. A grand equation set too cancels the other in total harmony. From outside, nothing changes. From within, everything moves. We exist not because something was added to nothing, but because nothing was divided into balance. Reality is the mathematics of equilibrium. Existence as symmetry. Eternity as the balance of opposites forever solving for zero. The beauty of symmetry. Symmetry is not just physics, it's aesthetic. It's nature's signature, the geometry of harmony. Perhaps our sense of beauty is instinctive recognition, a quiet memory that the universe itself is balanced. We are drawn to symmetry because we are made from it. Every proportion we find pleasing echoes the deep equations that built us. Every universe has its mirror. If the cosmos demands balance, then perhaps every universe has a mirror, a twin that balances its energy, entropy, and destiny. Some expand while others contract. Some create while others dissolve. Together, they maintain equilibrium in the grand total of existence. Like reflections across a cosmic lake, they shimmer in pairs, opposite yet inseparable. The multiverse might not be a random swarm of worlds, but a choreography of mirrors, each universe paired with. Creation brings form into being. Destruction releases it back to the whole. Every star that ignites will one day fade. Every atom assembled will eventually scatter. Yet through that exchange, the universe remains complete. Birth and death are not opposites. They are two halves of transformation. The constant flow of energy changing shape. Never lost, only balanced. For every expansion, a collapse. Just as stars expand into light, so too must they one day collapse into silence. Galaxies form, spin, and disperse. Even universes may follow the same cycle. Some might expand forever. Others fall back inward. Each expansion finds its equilibrium in another's contraction. Perhaps our universe, ever stretching outward, is balanced by a mirror cosmos drawing inward, absorbing what we release, like the tide receding to prepare for its return. In balance, nothing is wasted. The multiverse breathes in and out, expanding, collapsing, harmonizing endlessly. For every thought, a forgotten one. Balance exists not only in matter, but in mind. For every thought that rises, another fades. Memory and forgetting, creation and silence. Each sustains the other. The mind, like the universe, must empty itself to remain open. Without forgetting, there would be no room for new dreams. Perhaps every idea we lose finds expression in another world, another version of ourselves continuing the thought. The symmetry of awareness mirrors the symmetry of reality, consciousness expanding and collapsing, forever balancing the act of knowing with the grace of letting go, the warmth of harmony. Symmetry is not cold, it's harmonious. It doesn't cancel beauty, it creates it. The balance of opposites isn't emptiness, it's music. Just as every melody needs contrast, silence between notes, tension before release. Existence needs duality to make meaning. Without contrast, nothing would stand out. And without opposites, nothing could exist. Harmony arises not from sameness, but from relationship. The meeting point between yes and no, between being and its mirror. Symmetry is the universe's way of saying, everything belongs. The cosmic reflection. We live within a cosmic reflection, an endless dance of opposites. Light and shadow, matter and void, self and other. Each defines and sustains its twin. From quantum fields to galaxies, reality is a hall of mirrors, each level reflecting patterns from the one above. When we look outward into space, we are gazing into the universe's reflection of itself, a shimmer of symmetry stretching to infinity. Even our thoughts, mirrored in others' eyes, are part of that same reflection. Consciousness balancing consciousness, the equilibrium of all things, light and dark, being and nothingness, expansion and stillness. Every contrast finds its complement. The cosmos maintains equilibrium with exquisite precision. Its constants fine-tuned to allow both chaos and order. We exist within that equilibrium. Tiny fluctuations that make balance visible. To live is to oscillate gently around perfection, never too far from stillness, never still for long. We are the pendulum, the motion that proves symmetry exists, the universe reflecting on itself. Perhaps the multiverse isn't a collection of different realities at all, but one universe reflecting on itself in infinite ways. Each world is a thought, each mirror an idea of what existence could be. When the universe looks inward, it dreams. When it looks outward, it creates. Every reflection reveals another facet of the same totality, the cosmos contemplating its own nature. We are part of that reflection, small fragments of awareness, through which infinity studies its own face, the hall of mirrors. And so, the multiverse may be nothing more and nothing less than a hall of mirrors, echoing forever. Each reflection a universe, each echo a lifetime. Stand quietly, and you can almost feel it, the soft pulse of symmetry behind everything. The universe gazes at itself, and through that gaze, it remains infinite. What matters when everything exists? If every possible world exists, if every version of every story unfolds somewhere, what then truly matters? In an infinite multiverse, every outcome is realized, every loss reversed. Elsewhere, every dream fulfilled in some distant branch. At first, this thought can feel unsettling, as if meaning dissolves when everything becomes inevitable. But perhaps the opposite is true. Meaning isn't erased by infinity, it's revealed by it. In the vastness of all that could be, your experience, this singular thread of consciousness, is the point where infinite possibility becomes intimate, personal, alive. You matter not because you are the only one, but because, against the infinite, you are aware. Awareness over uniqueness. Perhaps meaning doesn't come from uniqueness, but from awareness. Even if there are infinite versions of you, only one feels this moment. The warmth of air, the thought passing through your mind, the quiet between words. Awareness gives existence its focus, its heartbeat. Without it, the multiverse would be a silent equation, perfect but lifeless. It is attention, the simple act of being here, that transforms the infinite into something meaningful. So meaning isn't found in rarity, it's found in presence. In being conscious, You give the universe a witness, a reason to shine. You matter because you experience this. Branch. Among endless possibilities, you experience this one. This exact sequence of breaths, choices, faces, and skies. Out of countless parallel lives, your awareness has settled here, now. That makes this branch sacred, not in a religious sense, but in a cosmic one. This is the version of reality where your attention lives, and by living it, you complete it. The universe doesn't need to be unique to be beautiful. It only needs to be experienced. And you, through perception, make that beauty real. Awareness gives reality its weight. Without awareness, reality would be weightless. An infinite cloud of equations, drifting unobserved. It's consciousness that gives reality gravity, not physical gravity, but existential gravity. Awareness pins existence to itself. It's the weight of observation that turns the abstract into the tangible, the unseen into the known, the infinite into the moment you are living right now. Existence without perception. Imagine a universe without perception, a realm of perfect physics, galaxies spinning in silence, light traveling with no one to see it, colors existing but never named. Beauty, it would still be real perhaps, but empty of meaning. Without consciousness, existence is pure potential. A story without a reader. A song with no one to hear. Perception doesn't just record the universe. It gives it purpose. Through awareness, the cosmos becomes not just structure, but experience. Consciousness turns possibility into being. Every act of consciousness is an act of creation. When you observe, you define. When you choose, you specify one thread among many. Reality, in that instant, becomes personal, no longer theoretical, but embodied. Consciousness doesn't build. Each moment of awareness is the multiverse remembering itself, turning the possible into the actual, the idea into the world. The humility of infinity. The multiverse invites humility. It reminds us that our world, for all its beauty and pain, is just one among uncountable others. We are not the center of creation, nor its purpose. We are a brief pattern of awareness, emerging from infinite potential, shining for a while before returning to silence. But humility is not despair, it's perspective. To know how small we are is to glimpse how vast reality truly is. Of scale, we are smaller than dust in the cosmic expanse. Our entire history fits within a flicker of cosmic time. And yet, we feel deeply, love fiercely, create endlessly. The universe is large, but emotion is intimate. The multiverse may be infinite, but meaning happens locally, inside the fragile boundaries of a single consciousness. To be small is not to be insignificant. Everything. The atoms in your breath were forged in ancient stars. The light entering your eyes has crossed billions of years to reach you. The gravity that holds your feet to the earth extends to every corner of the cosmos. There is no true separation, only the illusion of distance. You are part of the same energy that spins galaxies, part of the same story unfolding through time. When you realize this, humility transforms into belonging. The multiverse isn't out there, it's within you. Ripples through infinity. Every choice you make, every word you speak, ripples through infinity. In a branching cosmos, even the smallest act propagates endlessly, creating new variations, new echoes, new worlds. Your kindness, your silence, your curiosity, each becomes a thread woven. Each version of you, happy, lost, strong, uncertain, is equally valid, equally real. The multiverse doesn't judge outcomes. It explores them. Perfection is replaced by variety. Destiny by diversity. You are one expression of a boundless self, learning what it feels like to be this particular combination of choices. And that, in itself, is enough. Every regret healed somewhere. Every, perhaps brighter. Knowing this doesn't erase the pain here, but it softens it. It means that no possibility is truly lost. Every choice still exists, still playing out somewhere in infinity. You can find peace in the thought that somewhere, every wound has healed, every loss balanced somewhere. The same is true for loss. Every person gone, every love ended, continues somewhere. In a world where time took another turn. In the infinite, nothing is permanently lost, only shifted. Even endings are relative. Somewhere, the story continues. Perhaps that's what makes love eternal. Not immortality, but repetition. The same connection blooming in countless worlds, each unaware of the others, yet bound by the same thread of care. The comfort of infinity, the multiverse, offers strange comfort. It says that somewhere, everything is okay. Somewhere you're happy. Somewhere, the things that broke your heart never happened. And yet, that comfort doesn't take away the value of this life. Because this is the one you are living. The others are real, but they are not yours. This branch is your song, your singular melody among infinite harmonies. Even if there are countless versions of you, only this one breathes this air, feels this heartbeat, sees this sky, the preciousness of this universe. This universe, this delicate web of constants and coincidences, is precious. Its laws are tuned so precisely that stars can burn, atoms can bind, life can dream. The multiverse may contain endless others, but none will ever be exactly this. Every branch is unique. And this one, right now, is yours. To live here is to inhabit a miracle, a tiny, perfect probability that became real, and invited you in to witness it. Fragility is beauty. Fragility is not. The way a single candle gives meaning to the dark. We are fragile precisely because we are real. Impermanence is not an error in the design. It's the reason for awe. The briefness of existence is understanding of what can be. In infinity, your story is both unique and universal. The multiverse doesn't dilute significance. It amplifies it by showing how vast the field of meaning truly is. You are one reflection in an endless hall of mirrors. And yet, without your reflection, the image would be incomplete. The miracle of now, out of infinite possibilities. This, right now, is the one unfolding before you. The odds of this exact combination of atoms, emotions, and thoughts are beyond imagination. You are living an event so improbable it might as well be impossible. And yet, here you are. Every second you exist is a cosmic miracle. Every breath defies the odds. Infinity may hold endless versions of reality, but only this one feels like home. The extraordinary, intimate. Infinity doesn't need to be distant. It lives in the way you notice the world. The miracle of being you. Out of infinite possibility, you are this one version, this configuration of memory, matter, and light. There are countless other yous, but none living this exact life. At this exact intersection of time and awareness, you are the universe narrowing its infinite gaze into one moment of focus, one consciousness among endless potential. And that, against all odds, beyond all reason, is extraordinary. The unprovable mystery. The multiverse may never be proven. No telescope may ever see beyond our cosmic horizon. No experiment may ever reach across to touch another reality. Perhaps the boundaries between universes are not physical, but fundamental, built into the mathematics of being itself. And yet, the absence of proof does not make the idea meaningless. It remains a mirror for our imagination, a lens that widens the way we think about everything. Not every truth must be measured. Some are meant to be felt. The multiverse may be one of those. A truth that hums quietly beyond detection, asking only to be contemplated, not captured. Perhaps it doesn't need to be proven. Perhaps the multiverse doesn't need to be proven. Its value may lie not in its certainty, but in its possibility. It reminds us that the known universe, vast though it is, might be just a single note in an infinite song. Like faith, or art, or love, its beauty comes not from being solved, but from being pondered. We don't need to know for sure that infinity exists to feel its presence. It's there in the silence between stars, in the questions that never end, in the wonder that refuses to fade. Expanding wonder. Maybe the multiverse is true. Purpose is to expand our sense of wonder, to stretch the human mind beyond comfort, beyond scale. It reminds us that curiosity itself is infinite, that even if we mapped every atom in the cosmos, crystallized into theory, it doesn't shrink mystery, it multiplies it. And in doing so, it keeps our imagination alive. Beyond imagination, reality could be more vast than imagination itself. We think of imagination as limitless, but it's bounded by the structures of our minds. The universe, by contrast, may not be bound by anything. There could be phenomena we have no words for, no senses to perceive, no equations to describe. Perhaps the multiverse exists not to be understood, but to remind us that some things are forever beyond comprehension. And that's okay. Wonder doesn't demand understanding, only openness. It's enough to know that the unknown exists and that we are part of it. Humbled and uplifted. The idea of infinite worlds can feel humbling. We are such a tiny fragment of it all. And yet, it is also uplifting. Because in infinity, even the smallest thing matters. Each life, each breath, each flicker of consciousness adds something to the whole. We are both microscopic and essential, fleeting, but luminous. The multiverse shows us our scale, but also our significance. We are how the infinite becomes aware that it exists. That realization, that blend of smallness and importance, is the deepest kind of awe. Creation without end. The idea that creation never ends is deeply soothing. In the multiverse, creation, like breath, continues forever. Eternal beginnings. In an infinite cosmos, beginnings are eternal. Every birth, every sunrise, every discovery echoes countless others across time and space. Even loss becomes part of renewal, feeding the cycle of creation. When a star dies, it seeds new worlds. When one story ends, another begins. Nothing truly vanishes, it only changes context. To see the universe this way is to find comfort in impermanence. To realize that even when moments pass, their essence ripples outward forever. Existence as an ocean. Existence is not a point, not a line, not even a sphere. It's an ocean, vast, fluid, interconnected. Every universe is a wave upon its surface, rising for a while, then folding back into the whole. We are those waves, temporary expressions of the eternal sea. Our beginnings and endings are illusions of motion. The water remains. The multiverse is not many separate things. It's one continuous movement. Shines in sunlight and dissolves again into the stillness beneath. The wave forgets the sea, but the sea never forgets the wave. When you breathe, you echo the tide of creation. When you sleep, you return to the deep, where all waves merge into quiet unity. Death is not disappearance, it is return. When the wave vanishes, when we vanish, the sea continues. The universe does not mourn. It flows. And yet, in that flow, nothing is lost. Energy transforms, awareness redistributes. Form becomes memory in the pattern of existence. Your life, like all waves, leaves a trace in the motion of the whole. You are never erased. You are absorbed. To vanish is not to end, but to blend. To rejoin the silent harmony from which you came. Every breath a creation. Perhaps every breath is the universe creating itself again. Inhale, expansion. Exhale, return. With each breath, new atoms flow through you. Once part of stars, clouds, and ancient beings, you are both creator and created, reenacting the rhythm of the cosmos in miniature. Breathing is the simplest form of cosmic participation. A small, steady reminder that you and the universe share the same pulse. Every star a verse. Every star is another verse in the cosmic song. Each burns with its own tone, its own wavelength of light and story of fusion. Together they form a chorus, the universe singing itself into visibility. When you look at the night sky, you're reading that song in scattered syllables of fire. Each twinkle is a vibration of existence, a syllable in an endless hymn. We are made of that same melody, the matter that once shone, now dreaming of the stars it came from. Every dream a whisper. Every dream may be a whisper from another reality, a message carried through the thin fabric between worlds. Dreams obey their own physics, their own laws of time and space. Perhaps they are the echoes of parallel lives, the shimmer of alternate selves calling across dimensions. When you wake, the memory fades, but the feeling remains, as if some part of you remembers other versions of being. Dreams are the multiverse speaking softly, reminding you that imagination and existence are made of the same light. The sky of silent doors. The night sky is full of silent doors. Each star could be the entrance to another world. Each galaxy a threshold to a different reality. The silence between them isn't emptiness. It's distance measured in wonder. When you look upward, you aren't just seeing light from the past. You're glimpsing endless, for billions of years to reach us. By the time it arrives, entire civilizations may have risen and faded. But some physicists wonder, could that ancient light also carry subtle interference? Faint glimmers from parallel worlds overlapping ours. Perhaps what we see as a single beam of starlight is really the sum of countless versions of that same photon, rippling across realities. The universe doesn't just shine, it resonates. And in that resonance, perhaps, lies the quiet signature of infinity. Your other self looking up. Somewhere, your other self is looking up right now, wondering the same things. Perhaps they, too, feel small and vast at once. Perhaps they, too, find comfort in the night. You may never meet, but your thoughts rhyme across universes. Different verses of the same cosmic poem. In the stillness between stars, your wonder and theirs are indistinguishable. Infinity connects not through space, but through curiosity. United by curiosity. Across all realities, curiosity unites us. It is the common language of sentience, the spark that turns existence into story. Whether human or alien, material or luminous, every form of life that awakens asks the same question, why? That question is the thread connecting every mind that ever was, binding all awareness into a single network of wonder. The multiverse may be infinite, but curiosity is the bridge that spans it. Infinite wonder. The multiverse might be infinite, but so is wonder. Each new discovery, each realization of vastness, doesn't end the mystery, it deepens it. We are not running out of questions. We are learning to ask better ones. Infinity ensures that wonder never runs dry, that curiosity always has room to grow. The more we understand, the more there is to love. And in that endless unfolding, existence stays forever young. Wonder becomes peace. At some point, wonder turns into peace. The mind grows quiet. The questions soften. It's enough to know that the universe exists, that light still travels, that time still breathes, that we are part of it, briefly but beautifully. The search for meaning fades into simple presence. Infinity no longer feels cold. It feels calm. An ocean so vast, it needs no shore. Sleep beneath infinity. And now rest. Sleep softly beneath infinity. For the multiverse continues to hum around you. Galaxies drifting, stars being born. Other versions of you dreaming elsewhere. You are a wave in the silent ocean. A thought of the cosmos folding into rest. Let the night take you back to that. And now, we've reached the edge of the infinite. You've drifted through the birth of universes, through quantum branches and silent oceans of possibility. You've seen the cosmos reflect upon itself. A hall of mirrors without end, where every thought, every dream, becomes another ripple in eternity. Somewhere out there, the multiverse continues, still expanding, still unfolding, still dreaming through countless versions of you. But here, in this quiet moment, only one universe matters. The one that holds your breath, your heartbeat, your stillness. So let it all fade now. The theories, the stars, the endless questions. They can rest, just as you do. The universe will keep turning while you sleep. Galaxies will glide through dark water. Atoms will hum their soft, eternal tune. Everything continues, quietly, beautifully. Let your thoughts drift like starlight across the dark. Let your body sink into the calm of space. You are safe here, a wave returning to the ocean that made it. And as you fall asleep, remember, you are not small. You are not lost. You are part of everything. Good night, dreamer of worlds. May your dreams tonight carry you gently across the silent ocean of infinity.